Hi friends, Tropical Waffle here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you guys all of the equipment that I use to produce the videos that we make that you see on my website, tropicalwaffle.com. My very good friend Josh Bauer is going to take over this little segment here and go over each and every one of the cameras and lenses in the camcorder that I use to produce my shows. I pretty much stay within the Sony universe. I have Sony a7R Mark IIIs, Sony a7R IV. I also have DJI drone, Mavic 2. I got this B-script for recording video on the fly, going down the mountain or skiing or snowboarding and stuff of that nature. You know, people ask me all the time, I really love the videos that you produce that I see on your website. What does it take for us to get a video ourselves? So basically I'm gonna go over all of the equipment that I use to make a show. So for weddings and corporate events, birthday parties, holiday parties, whatever it may be, this is the high-end Sony gear that I'm using to produce a show. I'll let Josh take it over now. This is Josh Bauer with Bauer Images.
Hey, Josh Bauer here with Bauer Images. First, I'd like to say thank you to Tropical Waffle for allowing me to be here to introduce all this beautiful equipment that we have. So starting with the a7R III, it's going to be this guy right here. Now this is a 42 megapixel photography camera mostly, but it is capable of shooting 4K up to 30 frames a second. With the versatility of all the lenses we have, makes this a very, very useful tool. So here in the middle I have the a7R IV. Now this is a 61 megapixel camera and it is the latest, most up-to-date tech available from Sony. This is the workhorse. Now this is everything that we shoot all of our photography on. With 61 megapixels, kind of hard to go wrong. So up next, I'm going to have the Beast Cage XM for an iPhone. Now with the dual cameras of the iPhone, this piece right here actually makes it very, very versatile. So we use this one for action type shots when it comes to, say, snowboarding or skiing on the mountain. A little bit of protection, being able to throw a wide angle lens on it is perfect. We also have a telephoto lens that we can throw on there and get a little bit more zoomed in of a shot. Now with the grip here, I can actually release it, kind of move it around, angle it, and if I wanted to, I can even actually stick it into the snow to get that shot of you spraying when I come by. So here we're going to have the Insta360 1X. Now this one is really interesting. It's a little bit newer of tech. Now this one actually gives us the capability to record 360 degrees of video, say for example in the middle of a party, and you can actually control it at home and move around up, down, left, and right and feel like you're actually there in the party with us. So moving to the lenses, here we're going to have a very versatile, well-rounded lens. Now this is a 24 to 240. So 24 would be a very up-close, fairly reasonable distance. Then we also have a 240 millimeter focal length, which is going to allow us to shoot things that are a lot farther away. Now the aperture of this lens is going to be a 3.5 to a 6.3. So very, very well rounded. So here I'm going to have a macro lens. Now this is a G series from Sony as well. Now this one is a fairly up close and personal type of shooting. So here we're going to be moving up to the Grandmaster series that Sony offers. Now these are the highest available optics that you can purchase from Sony. Grandmaster. Now this guy right here is going to be a 24 to 70, so it's going to be a little bit more detailed down to, say, mediocre distance type shot. I'm not going to be really far away. I'm also not going to be up super close. So the 24 to 70 does make it very versatile, and it's going to start at an aperture of 2.8. So here we're also going to have a Grandmaster series telephoto lens. Now this one has a mechanical internal zoom and it starts at a 70, goes to a 200. The aperture will be a 2.8. What's cool about this guy is that it does not actually physically change size when you're zooming in. Next I'm going to have a super telephoto lens. Now this is going to be a 100mm to a 400mm. The aperture is going to start at 4.5, and if I wanted to, I could shoot a bald eagle to the other side of the Grand Canyon. This one is going to be one of my favorite lenses. Now this is Sony's Premier Cinematography Parafocal lens. Now this guy's going to start at a 28mm, go to a 135mm with a starting aperture of f4. Now this absolutely is 100% designed for video, and it is our best video lens. So moving to the sky, here we're going to have the DJI Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad camera. This does shoot up to 4K 30 frames a second, and it will be the tool used when you see any aerials in any of the videos. This here I have is a camera stabilizer. Now this is the DJI Ronin M, and it is a bottom mount camera stabilizer. This has the ability while I'm walking through a crowd to not have a shaky camera shot, and allows me to stabilize. This is a top-mounted camera gimbal stabilizer. This is the DJI Ronin S. A huge advantage to this guy is if I'm walking through a crowd, it gives me the ability to raise it above everybody and be able to look down. This is the Easy Rig Mini Max. Now this one's really unique. It allows me to either take a little bit of weight off my shoulders, or another unique feature, once connected, is I can free a hand. Now once I free a hand, I'm able to control things like zoom, I'm able to control things like focus, and not have to worry about both hands actually holding this thing in the air. This is the Sony FS5 Mark II with Sony's G-Series Cine lens on it. Now on top we do have the Shogun Inferno by Atomos, and it's capable of recording 4K up to 120 frames a second, or a constant 60 frames a second.